hello. I didn't see you there. Why don't you come up and have a seat? It's okay. If I've got it, you've got it. It's kind of lonesome these days, what with the quarantine and the lockdown. Can't even see our friends at the Verdugo HUUT. You've never heard of the Verdugo HUUT? Well, here, have some Kirkland whiskey. Or if you want, here's some Kirkland olive oil. I can't tell the bottles apart anymore. I just drink them. Well, folks, my name's Marty Barrett. Welcome to the digital edition of the Verdugo HUUT. It's March 21st, 2020, I think. I think that's the year. And we can't have public gatherings anymore, so we've decided to go digital for the next couple of months until this miasma passes. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about where it started, who gave it to whom, or what we might have done to prevent it. We're just here to be entertained. And tonight we have several, almost a dozen, artists from all over the country who've come to provide HUUT-specific entertainment for you. So without further ado, or without further ado, here's our first artist. We don't even know where he's from, but he's as American as apple pie, and he has this fancy two-camera setup at his house that makes you feel like you're paparazzi chasing a celebrity through a tunnel. Please put your hands together for Justin Curtis.
Hello, I'm Justin Curtis. I'd like to thank Marty for including me on this virtual edition of the HUUT. I was thinking that this virus has been kind of a train wreck for a lot of us. I thought it might be appropriate to include a train wreck song on the show. I've got one called The Wreck of the Old 97. They gave me my old Monaco, Virginia, and Maine. You're way behind time. This is not 38, but it's old 97. Give me a push red, and that's a long time. Well, I turned around and said to my black breeches bottom, you shovel on the little moco. And when you get across that wide open mountain, you get watch on 97 roll. Rough road, from Lynchburg to Danville on a line, on a 3-mile grade. It was on that grade that I lost my air brakes to the Lasaine, would have jumped my way. I was going down the grade, making 90 miles an hour, where my whistle broke into a scream. Well, they found me in the wreck, with my hand on the throttle. I was scalded to death by the steam. Came from Washington Station, and this is how it read. That brave engineer that run old 97 is now laying in old 92 dead. So all you ladies, I better take a warning from this time on and learn. Never speak harsh words to your true loving husband. He may leave you and never return.
Wasn't that grand? He didn't even know where to look, singing that train song. Well, next up is a person I've known for maybe 15 years now, and he's a true LA troubadour. Well, the birds don't have it, do they? He's a true LA troubadour, Mr. David Kaufman.
Hello, you happy Hooters. That's H-U-U-T, not the other one. Although, no disrespect. All right, this is David Kaufman. As you know, I'm in the habit of making God laugh. I'm going to do it one more time. I hope more than once, actually. I made God laugh when I told him my plan. If I was a comic, he'd be my biggest fan, 'cause I made God laugh. I made God laugh. Lands A through Z never lied to me. Spent a lot of time on them all, you see, but God just laughed. I made God laugh. Why you running here, running there, everywhere? Seems to make no difference, so why not take a chance? Used to make a lot of sense, but now it's hard to care. I'm just making God laugh every chance I get. Looking for a loser that I haven't made yet. I'm a funny guy. I make God laugh. I tried my best, studied for every test. Thought I had it all figured out, I confess, but God only laughed. I made God laugh. Why you running here, running there, everywhere? It seems to make no difference, so why not take a chance? Used to make a lot of sense, but now it's hard to care. I'm just making God laugh every chance I get. Looking for a illusion that I haven't made yet. I'm a funny guy. I make God laugh. Oh, 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 oh,
Address him like he's your Uncle Lou, and he's from the planet Vulcan, and he's a duck. You just say, Lou, a Vulcan ducky. That's how they say it. This guy's name is Pierson Keating, and he's about 12. He's going to sing a couple of songs. I only asked him to do one song, but he sort of blended one song into another song because he's crafty. Just your type. Pierson Keating.
Hey guys, my name's Pierson Keating. I'm going to play a song for you called Back On. I wrote this back in 2010 when I was at the University of Louisville. And this is for the Unitarian Church of Verdugo Hills monthly HUUT. This edition is the HUUT en los tiempos de Corona, the special social distancing version. This song, I haven't played it in a while, but I thought it would be perfect for the theme, for the times we're in. And I'm also going to go into another one of my favorite songs by Bruce Hornsby, the great Bruce Hornsby. So here we go. Lately, I've come to realize that some plants live and some plants die. I've always tried to go through with them all. Sometimes I stumble, sometimes I fall. That's when I need your spark, when I'm in the dark. I need you to light the way again. I'm so thankful that you came along and turned my light, you turned it back on. Now darkness That's when I need the help of a friend. That's when I need your spark. When I'm in the dark, I need you to light the way again. I'm so thankful that you came along and turned my light, you turned it back on. I'm learning more and more that I can't do this alone. This life is just too big for just one man. Sometimes your best friend is the one who sees you home, or the person who tells you that you can. That's why I need your spark when I'm in the dark. I need you to light the way again. I'm so thankful that you came along, turned my light, you turned it back on. When the night lies so still, or before I go to sleep, I come by, oh, just to look at you. In the dim light I see, hold my own small way. I will try, oh, to help you through. There'll be blue skies falling, there'll be sad scenes and bad dreams, in a world so uncertain. Through the clouds it's hard to see. I will grab you and lift you. Calm your fears when you're afraid. We'll go walking across the fields of grain. Fields of grain, fields of grain. That's why I need a spark when I'm in the dark. Need you to light the way again. I'm so thankful that you came along and turned my light, you turned it back on. Oh, we'll go walking in fields of gray. Turn my light back on. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. You can find my music on Pierson Keating Piano. That's Pierson Keating Piano. I'll put a link there. And you can also subscribe to my mailing list. Scroll down and click the button that says click here to receive updates on how to attain creative fulfillment. You'll get weekly updates, insights, video blogs, inspiring content. Also, you can also go to PiersonKeatingMusic.com. That's an older website, but it has a lot of my material that I have posted online. I'm going to be posting a lot more music in the coming days, so please check my YouTube channel. I'll post a link, or I'll give Marty the link to that as well. And thank you all so much. Please stay strong, and I'd love to hear from you. So if there's a way to get a hold of me, I'm sure there will be. Please do so. I'd love to hear from you. And that's all from me. From me. That's all from me for now. So take care. Take care of yourselves. Namaste.
If you come to our live show at the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Verdugo Hills, you will see, usually to my back and to my left, Mr. Ken Lasaine, who is the only guitar player allowed in the county of Los Angeles. He's played with everybody, and for some reason he also plays with us. And you usually don't hear his voice during the show, but you hear it now, and that's a treat. Ken Lasaine.
Greetings, Verdugo HUUT, performers and audience members. I am happy to be here, though virtually. Be much happier to be there in the beautiful UU, acoustically satisfying UU sanctuary, but alas, this is how it is this month. I'm usually playing behind Marty with Alex. My name is Ken, and for this evening's performance, though you can probably tell that I am filming this in the afternoon, I'm going to play a Stevie Wonder song, instrumentally, called Creepin'. And though it has nothing to do with creeping around, which is kind of what we've all been doing, I guess, for the last week, the vibe of it just kind of feels like that. Originally, the song is about someone creeping into your dreams. But I kind of feel like I've been creeping around for the last week or so. Don't touch your face. Anyway, here we go. Instrumental version of Creepin' by Stevie Wonder.
Our next performer is a visual artist, and I feel like I've known her all my life. I followed her career, and she had a very graphic entry into the world that I witnessed. I guess I could say that I was the very first person to ever see her. I'm a big fan. You should be too. Marisol Barrett.
I'm sure at least some of you have met or know about my dog, Gordon. Personally, I think that my dog is the most precious animal on the planet. No, in the galaxy. And that he could do no wrong, even when it's clear that he is, in fact, doing copious amounts of wrong. But he's my dog, and I will always love him even if he does howl really loudly at 3 in the morning. Gordon just happens to be the reason I'm telling you this story tonight, because on one fateful evening, we being my father, my brother, and I, were walking Gordon to his favorite park. Not that we knew that it was his favorite park, but it was the closest one to the house at the time, and it was the one that he frequently wandered off to when he jumped over the fence in the backyard and chased after the cars and made me go after him. Anyway, we were walking him, and on the sidewalk next to us was one of those hedges that covers a wall or a fence so that you can't see the house next to it. Gordon stopped in his tracks and jumped into one of his signature Gordon hunting crouches while we all tried to see what he was looking at. He must have seen something move because he rushed into the hedge and didn't come out for about 15 seconds. The leash was shaking and moving all over the place. It's like when you see those fight scenes in cartoons and there's one really big dust cloud and sometimes you see arms and legs and the occasional head flailing out of it. We couldn't see Gordon at all. Eventually, he came back out unscathed, leaving us all to think, that was weird, until seconds later the stiff body of a possum collapsed out of the hedge, not dead yet, but clearly in an unpleasant situation. I gasped dramatically, and my poor blind father said, "What? What is it?" until the headlights of the car shined onto its limp face. We were all shook, as the hip kids say, but Gordon looked like he had just had the time of his life. This dog, who has lived with several smaller, weaker animals throughout his entire life and has never harmed a single one of them, this dog who was scared of fireworks and the washing machine, saw the possum in the hedge and jumped right in. Once he identified it as another living, breathing animal, he thought, yeah, this is probably the best course of action to take right now. It was like I was seeing a completely different side of Gordon that I didn't even know existed. But we continued walking to the park, quietly assessing the situation in our heads. I, for example, was thinking, oh God, his poor possum wife and kids, and Gordon was thinking, is that a fire hydrant or a cat that I'm looking at right now? A few days later, we were heading towards a campsite near a lake with some friends. I was going to stay in a large tent with Gordon while everyone else got tiny, sad tents. We probably could have managed with a medium-sized tent because we barely used the space given to us, but it was a mistake I appreciated. On one cold night when there were very many lights still on around us and multiple shadows were being cast around the tent wall, Gordon sat up suddenly and started whimpering. He seemed to be staring at the silhouette of a tree that he saw on one of the walls. I thought that Gordon probably mistook the tree for my dad and wanted to go out and see him. Usually when my dad goes away and Gordon is left at home with us, he gets really sad because that's how dogs are. But when I went up to pet him, he was violently shaking, which Gordon does not do when Dad leaves. So, for about a minute, I just held him in hopes that he would calm down and let me get some goddamn sleep. But instead, he freaked out even more when he heard some chittering outside. This freaked me out a little bit too because I thought some squirrel was going to come down on us from a tree and land on the tent. It sounded like something really interesting was going on out there, and Gordon was getting crazier by the second because it was getting really noisy outside. And that's when I saw 3 animals casting shadows on the tent just outside from the entrance. Gordon was jumping up and down, trying to escape and run outside, and I can't blame him, because those animals weren't squirrels, and they weren't raccoons, and they weren't other dogs. They were possums. 1 big mother possum and 2 smaller child possums right next to our tent. Where was their dad? Oh, I remember. He's dead. They had come to haunt us, to seek vengeance upon whichever horrible dog had killed their father, and all they had to do was slice open the thin sheet of fabric that separated them from us. In a last-ditch effort to make the vengeful beasts go away, I prayed that Cthulhu would smite them down and rid them from my tent, to stop them from terrifying my poor dog. And then, flashlights shined in their direction. The people from the camp next to us who played their music really loud were looking on in astonishment at the possums outside my tent. Thwarted, they slunk back towards the lake and didn't bother us again. I only got a few hours of sleep that night. Not because it was freezing cold and I hadn't brought enough blankets, but because I knew that one day they would be back.
Because we can't be in our normal location, I thought you would enjoy a little tour of the area that we call home. Behold, the Crescenta Valley, treasured for hundreds of years for its rich deposits of dispensaries and rocks and Sons of Anarchy filming locations. It really is a remarkable place. Behind me, I'm no historian. Why Dad and Uncle Billy ever started this cheap penny ante Chinese Verdugo HUUT, I'll never know. But one thing I know for sure, when the ancient astronauts first staked a claim to this rich and luminous land, they ran out of money really quick, because this was supposed to be the beginning of a sign that said, the Crescenta Valley. They only had enough money for a T. Only had enough money for a T. Come with me, won't you? Now, normally, when we're not all huddling under our desks with plague, right down there is where the Verdugo HUUT happens every third Saturday of every month. Right down there. Right down there. But not today. So on this, the very first day of an official lockdown here in LA County, your friends at the Verdugo HUUT are breaking the law to bring you this little video postcard. Now check this out over here. Down there is the 210 freeway, as it winds its way westward through mysterious San Fernando, ending almost at the Pacoima Costco, winding its way through interesting parts of northern Los Angeles County that you never see anywhere except in the Rodney King video. You can get a glimpse of really how beautiful this area is. Now, way down there, past my left shoulder, right over that mountain, right over the Verdugo Hills, there's Los Angeles. And behind me here, the San Gabriel Mountains, over that is, I don't know, San Francisco? Who knows? Who cares? You have everything you need right here. And when Captain Trips ends, you can come to the Verdugo HUUT and see for yourself. But for right now, check out what might have been. The Crescenta Valley. As I think about it, you know, this show is pretty troubadour heavy. A few months ago, this person brought the house down with his extended dance remix of El Paso. But tonight, he's singing a hoary old standard. So please say hello to hoary old standard Paul Perry.
This song is A Kiss to Build a Dream On by Bert Kalmar, Harry Ruby, and Oscar Hammerstein II. I find the song apropos, and I hope you will too, because of the opening line of the introductory chorus. How am I to bear this separation? Give me just a little hope to cling to. Fan the flame of my imagination, so I can dream till we meet again. Give me a kiss to build a dream on, and my imagination will thrive upon that kiss. Sweetheart, I'm asking only this, a kiss to build a dream on. Ba-bam, ba-ba-ba-boom. Give me a kiss before you leave me, and my imagination will feed my hungry heart. Leave me one thing before we part, a kiss to build a dream on. Mama, when I'm alone with my fancies, I'll be with you, weaving my imagination will make that moment live. Give me what you alone can give, a kiss to build a dream on. When I'm alone with my fancies, I'll be with you, weaving romances, making believe they're true. Whoa, 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 whoa. Give me your lips for just a moment, and my imagination will make that moment live. Give me what you alone can give, a kiss to build a dream on.
You know, as you came up here on the porch, I was just reading a book by one of my favorite authors. Her name is Daviau, and she's lived all around the country, and she has a wonderful turn of phrase. Her latest book is Every Anxious Wave, but tonight she's going to read a special poem that she wrote about social isolation. And you know, even though this quarantine is only a few weeks old, we're already feeling the loss of physical connection. Daviau.
Hello, good people of the Verdugo HUUT. I'm Daviau. I'm a writer in Austin, Texas, a friend of Marty's. And I lit a candle to set the mood of gravity for what is going to be a poem that I wrote in a writing workshop last September that has, due to current events, become timely without me intending. This is about hugs. I miss hugs. In my new country, we celebrate the democratization of love. Hugs will be proffered at lengthy intervals. The health benefits of hugs are shown to manifest after, at minimum, 20 continuous seconds of embrace. To disengage a hug after fewer than the 20 required seconds will be recognized as violence. But because we celebrate the democratization of love, there will not be penalty for failure to provide a full-length hug. In fact, you can provide no hug at all, for our love can be distributed evenly from a distance, like aerosol spray. There will be no skin hunger, no misinterpreted looks at ourselves in the mirror, and babies will grow on trees and have dozens of attentive parents. Love can exist as mostly an idea, something to be barked above the din of other human needs. If you say the word love in any language, it will be processed in the brain the same as touch or affection, of acts of service, of allowing someone to smile after they behave like a damn fool. No one is a damn fool. Everyone is freshly bathed and at the peak of their abilities, good-intentioned, respectful of boundaries, able to give and take in balance, and can only wallow in pain temporarily, for my new country's boundless love washes away significant anguish and lifelong trauma. The choir will sing in perfect pitch, love, 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 and we will dance together and never lose our balance and fall down.
To my knowledge, there are only about 3 people who actually were born and raised in Los Angeles. Most of us are here from somewhere else. And I came from the East Coast where, as I was growing up, I would hear on every radio station, every local radio station, the work of our next guest. And I happened to be at a bar one night, and there's this person serving drinks who who didn't look familiar because I'd never seen him before, but he sounded familiar. And it turns out this guy named Rick was also behind just about every Boston band that you'd heard of. And he was there working in a bar. And that bar was Doyle's, which recently closed, much to the dismay of everyone who had ever been there. But there are places in the world, Angelinos, where you can do your art and also have a 9-to-5 job that isn't necessarily the art, as opposed to California, where you have to be doing it 24/7, and you live a weird kind of super compressed DNA lifestyle. Rick Berlin, when he writes about the places he visits, does it with warmth and whimsy and humor. And this next piece is about a holiday that just passed, St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, Marty, reading from this. Irish. Even though I work at an Irish bar and spend 6 nights a week at another one, I'm not of the green. Not even close. German, French, Scot is the mutt I am. Still, when I think about them, these loud, red-faced boy men who've become my friends, I like what I see. I like how hard they work. I like the juice they give a good story. I like how they laugh from the toes up, and that they know how to sing, gifted or otherwise, balls to the stinking wall. I admire their healthy regard for death, the ritual of the wake, of seeing the body, of bidding farewell and drinking ferociously to the memory of. I respect their reluctance to open up, to deliver the dark secret of the self. However, once you earn their trust, the connection is unbreakable. They have your back and you theirs. End of story. Loyalty is the Bible, and you don't fuck with it. Likewise, the pub is their church. A clubhouse of celebration, belonging, wound nursing, and absurdity. Of course, it's the Irish disease, the alcohol fixation, that gets called out. Booze kills, grows a liquor nose, ruins families, makes liars and lousy fathers. The all too familiar list of debilitation. On the other hand, one can't help but envy these blokes and broads and their athletic bouts of drinking, a pint in a slobbery mouth, numbing away a shitty day. A clink of the glass to a good joke, forcing an ugly shot down a reluctant throat, jacking up enough courage to make a move on the snotty bitch at the end of the bar, and so it goes. Here lies an exuberance that has no twin in any culture I can think of. We wasps have our fussy martinis and wry smiles. In Paris, the little finger rises like a baby penis, a prissy sniff of fine wine. The Japanese shatter themselves silly in safe houses of repute, but practice daytime decorum with perfect samurai hair. Vodka-ripped Russians tend to fight each other as much as the Irish, but are dour, pasty-faced, and depressive. Hispanics know how to party, but don't, near as I can tell, genuflect at the gate of the corner pub. These Irish own the map. They throw back booze with an abandon that is as childlike as it is insane. I, for one, can't keep up 4 or 5 puny Miller Lights and I'm kaput. Add a sickening shot and my mouth hangs open like a fuck doll. These days, these shit-faced Irish hounds achieve that rare, rubbery gift of a good sentence. A lacerating point of view. A sudden
jerked open window of insight, no matter how many sheets to the wind. The other night is a case in point. 2 bartenders from the Brendan Bean, named after the famous Alki poet himself, and hung with portraits of Irish writers and drunkards, share that rarest of rejoicings, a double birthday, same exact. He has my brain, says one. The other is jumping up and down on a bar bench, squinty-eyed, spewing beer like piss onto the floor, lost in a parallel universe. Back from crowd surfing at a Pogues concert, back to the Bean, kite high, out of body, happy and full of "arr." They kill the Rasta, oiling out of the speakers, crank up the Pogues, link arms in a scrum and sing. The loudest lung work I've heard since the Fat Lady sang in '04 and the Yankees watched hell freeze over. I don't know any of the songs, but they wrote me in nevertheless. I nod like Hillary Clinton as they shout out, nose to ceiling, a clusterfuck of bellowing, cross-eyed lions. My outsider identity dissipates as they explode these glorious, raging songs. It doesn't matter that I can't join in. Fuck that. I love every awkward minute. They eye each other like dogs who'd spent the day chasing a rabbit down a hole. This is not stereotypical male bonding. No, sir. It's more like a fist of 20th century Captain Bloods riding a kamikaze rocket into an Irish wormhole. These double birthday beams the rest of us up. I break away and return to the bar for my weak-assed Miller Lite and my periscope view of the crowd, the boys scan. Meanwhile, the joint is on its feet, rocking in a frenzy of song and blinking from an uptight distance, missing out entirely. The best night of my life ever, says one. I look him in the eye just to be sure he means it. Of course he does. How many of those can you count on one hand? And damned if you don't need to be Irish to know the fucking difference. Coda. I ran into a bean rat who'd been off the sauce for a week. How's it going? I asked. Great. I feel great. Really, I say. How come? I know a guy with pills. Pills? Yeah. What kind? Xanax. Oh, I see. Thanks, Marty, for asking.
Finally, since we don't really get a chance to hang around with other human beings anymore, it's so wonderful to see 2 people in one room making music together. Ed Tree and Cynthia Brando are an amazing duo, and they close out our show.
Always a way to get past the pain, the love that you needed, the love that you gave. You don't always know how life's gonna go, but you've gotta stay steady and strong, believe in yourself and make start, keep it together.
That was delightful. So, folks, we really enjoy your company, virtual or otherwise, at the Verdugo HUUT. We have a live one every third Saturday of the month, and we'll be doing live ones, digital ones, every third Saturday of the month until this plague passes. Now, underneath my my stubbly chin, over the course of the evening, you have seen a PayPal link. If you donate a little bit or a lot of it to that PayPal link, the artist will get a little chunk of money, as will our normal host, the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Verdugo Hills. Nice little place down in the foothills of La Crescenta, 100 seats, acoustically very nifty. It's kind of like an upstate New York or Provincetown type woody gabled place that you never would think was in California, or at least in Southern California. Anyway, over the next couple of months, I hope you take care of yourselves, take care of each other, wash your hands like Pontius Pilate, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.